everybody, this is Melissa, your free range psychic. Today is October the 8th, 2023. Today I am going to do a reading on the situation in Congress with the ousting of Senator McCarthy. I want to let you know what the guides have to say about that. And we're going to have an oracle card from the Whispers of Healing deck by Angela Hartfield. But first, just mentioning this terrible attack on Israel by Hamas. And my guides has told me that it certainly was Putin who conspired, I want to say allegedly anyway, with Netanyahu and Hamas and Iran and some other countries, Saudi Arabia, I'm sure, to set this up so that what Netanyahu is being accused of is weakening the southern border and pulling away intelligence from there, pulling away fortification of that border to open up that border for this kind of attack, which was just horrific, and there's still fighting going on. But Putin took this opportunity to he thinks it's going to draw funds away and military help from Ukraine, and it's going to cause chaos because Putin is a chaos agent, and everybody who works for him is a chaos agent, including Trump. But what my guides want to tell you is that this situation is not going to end up in a World War III or an ongoing conflict. There is obviously an underlying continual conflict with the Palestinians and Israel and all that history. But in terms of Israel being taken over or us going into World War III, that they say that is not going to happen. Everything's just going to kind of stop, and the conflict or the fighting it will end. And what the guides say is there will be peace, if you can call it that. There will be a cessation of fighting. And they also say that one of the unintended consequences, and there are always these unintended kind of blowbacks, these consequences where Putin thinks or Trump or whomever, when these people do this kind of thing, they're going to gain advantage of it, but in the end it hurts them. It's going to hurt Putin because they say, and Netanyahu, they say that it's going to really finally get the majority of Israelis to just kick him out. They've been trying to, but there's always this hardcore contingent that somehow keeps him in, and he's a very, I want to say like snakish. He knows how to just hang on to power. But I think, and I hope this is true, this is the end of Netanyahu. His government will be gone, and then the people who want to bring in measures who actually bring peace between Palestinians and Israel and to have a better, human rights track and whatever, they're going to become the majority. It's kind of like, the extreme right's going to get kicked out, and whatever represents, the Democrats, the Israelis, is, the more progressive liberal party's going to come in and make a lot of changes. We're going to see much needed changes happening there. But the reason that happens is because Netanyahu has kind of outed himself. And people are asking those questions right now. You can go on Twitter or your news source or whatever, and you can see that. And then there's other unintended blowbacks too, to Putin, turning more people against him. He really doesn't have the resources himself. He had to kind of, pull in these other countries to get this to happen, but there's just something that really goes awry, and so it weakens Putin. That's what they want to tell you. So whatever it looks like now, that candle's that flame's gonna be, blown out. That it's just not going to erupt into a major war. So, I hope that's true, but that's what they tell me. And I talked to a friend of mine who's a psychic as well, and she saw something very similar. So that was a nice confirmation of that. But Putin's going to, keep on trying to make trouble. He's a little guy, the kind of like the James Cagney type. He's little, but he's tough, and he's so egotistical and narcissistic, and he's going to do whatever he can, use whatever means to the end. He has no limit where that's concerned. There are no morals to him. No ethics, nada, nothing. So to get back to this reading, the card that I got from the guides to represent the subject matter is the Tower. This is Kevin McCarthy being kicked out of his seat. Thank you, Matt Gaetz. And as a result, Congress is in chaos, and we have the little leprechaun guy, so Peterson, who has the gavel. The gavel looks bigger than he is, and but he's another little guy who wants power. He puffs himself up, and what is the first thing he does is, and this came out that it was actually Kevin McCarthy being so angry at the Democrats and Nancy Pelosi for not supporting him so he could stay in power, because ironically the only way he could stay in power was with the support of the Democrats. And I think this is interesting too about this reflection of it, but he kicks Nancy Pelosi out of her office. I guess if speakers say, they have these special hideaways, and it's just a tradition. And I guess Nancy Pelosi allowed the speaker before her, who was Republican, to have them. She has the suite of offices. They're kind of like, they're called hideaways, and immediately get your things, even though she was at a memorial for Feinstein and needed to attend her funeral in California. And she was only given 24 hours, which obviously she couldn't do. Oh, and I heard also, or I read somewhere that that little leprechaun guy doesn't have the power. Peterson doesn't have the power to actually do that. He's just a pro tem speaker. But that's his first action. And apparently McCarthy just, got him to do it. But what I was thinking is that, well, the price that Peterson's going to have to pay is that if he actually wanted to be speaker, there's no way, because no Democrat's going to help him get in, and he would need the support of the Democrats. So I thought that was interesting. Like, did McCarthy also going to stick a knife in his back too? Oh my God! So, and McCarthy, I heard, or have, when I say heard, I mean heard, read, seen, whatever, that he may step down before the end of his term. That's a rumor going around. And above 5 of Wands, and this is the Republicans fighting amongst themselves. These are the Matt Gaetz Republicans fighting against, and I think there's 10 like Freedom Caucus members fighting against the rest of their peers, and now they want to oust Matt Gaetz. So these rumors have been going around, right, that Matt Gaetz, all the rumors we already know about, but they're coming out with it, that he has shown film of tape of I don't know, can I say this on YouTube, of I want to say sex tapes. He has shown these, I don't want quote unquote with that word, I hope I don't get in trouble by YouTube, but these tapes of or videos, probably on his phone, when he's in Congress. Hey, look at this, to whoever's next to him. What do you think about that? And I guess people have been pretty disgusted, but of course nobody stepped up, and there are indictments down the road for him. I think the consequences of what he's been or is going to be charged with, and what Joel Greenberg was charged with, all the criming that went on in Florida, regarding underage women and sex trafficking, etc. That's coming up for him, and there's talk that they want to get him out before he has to, testify. He gets indicted. These criming charges come up in full blast. But there's just so much disagreement that this is the GOP in disarray, my friends. And also, who's going to be the next speaker? There's so much disagreement. And then, the people themselves, I think Scalise and Jim Jordan are putting their hats in the ring. I think at least Stefanik has put her hat in the ring too, and there's some others, but that's also vying for the seat. Third in line for the president. It's so scary to think about. Underneath, the devil. So what is all this about? As usual, this is Trump, and what the general thought is on that is that Trump is pulling the strings in Congress. He's still in power in some way because he was the one who, via his minions, like Matt Gaetz and the other GOP, he was angry at McCarthy because McCarthy allowed that agreement to keep the short-term government spending because he foolishly thought or thinks that if Congress shuts down, then they can't appropriate any more money for the DOJ. But that is absolutely not true. That's ridiculous. But he somehow thinks that it'll stop the clock if Congress can't operate and pass funding bills. And then, of course, this is always Putin, because all of this keeps our government in disarray. We need Congress, and if Congress is not functional, and think about, is it Tommy Tuberville who's not allowing our military to appoint new generals, and Congress is going to challenge funding, and this is a way to wage war on us by proxy or indirectly. So this is just really running the show. It's not just Matt Gaetz, because he was the one who called for the ousting of Kevin McCarthy and a new speaker. This is all being manipulated by Trump and also Putin. Putin's always in the background. I honestly think Trump doesn't do anything without Putin's permission. In the future, this is the Three of Pentacles. My guides say there's going to be a lot of, between the Democrats and the Republicans, and Republicans and the Republicans, etc., whatever. But deals being made here in the background to try to figure out who the next speaker is. So the clarifying card, Ten of Wands, but they can get back to business as usual, whatever that is for the GOP. But to have a normality there. And the clarifying card is the Knight of Swords. So this is a continued attack on our democracy. This is a continuation of the insurrection, an attempt to shut the government down, using ourselves against us, our own democracy against us. And in the end, this card is mysterious to me. I wanted to find out the identity of who's going to be the next speaker, but my guides are telling me that whoever the next speaker is, there's two things about this. One, he will be a compromise. I'm not sure. I can't get that he'll be either Scalise or Jordan. My guides seem to tell me that it'll be somebody else who may not be as extreme, somebody more palatable to the Democrats. But even if it is Scalise or Jordan, they say he's in there for a hot minute and then he's gone. And it's very possible that Hakeem Jeffries might step in and be the House Speaker after this guy goes, or woman. I think it's a man, but that's what they say. So whoever gets in there, just not going to be there very long. So that is my reading on this current circus, this current hot mess. But it was always intended to be a hot mess. Yes, but by the GOP. It was never meant to function. Remember, Putin's a chaos agent, Trump's a chaos agent, and everybody that has an affiliation with the Freedom Caucus and even just the GOP itself, for the most part, they also act as chaos agents. Not all of them. There are a few that resist, but there's a pretty large group of GOP who are part of this, and it's intentional. So I really wish that Liz Cheney would be appointed and win. I think that would be the best irony. I mean, I don't agree with her politics for the most part, but at least she's sane and she fought for our democracy, and it would be delicious. Chef kiss, Oh my God! So that's my prayer. I don't get that yet, but she will get in. But I don't know who's going to get in there. I just know they're not going to last that long. If it was Cheney, I wouldn't mind her lasting out to Hakeem Jeffries gets in there, who I think is going to be in there at some point, and for a long duration too. Okay, you guys, so that is my reading on the house, the hot mess that the house is, and what might happen. I hope everybody's okay. I know it's such a shocking week this week. And there's still stuff going on. There's still the Letitia James stuff going on, and oh my goodness, and the Chutkin stuff going on, and then there's the Cannon stuff going on, the documents. I don't know there's so much that I don't always remember to touch everything. But the news that, and I think we kind of knew this, but it came out that Trump had told an Australian journalist our nuclear secrets about our nuclear submarines, and the very possibility that he sold Israeli intelligence to Iran. Oh my God. It just blows the mind. What a heinous traitor. Well, I'm preaching to the choir here, but and we knew this, but now it's actually coming out, right? There were rumors going around. I always thought, anyway, I'm sure I said it in a reading or two, that he was probably selling our secrets to other countries, and the reason why potentially so many of our CIA agents and other operatives had turned up assassinated or missing or died under mysterious circumstances, and there's just a high rate since he was in office, really. Okay, to be continued. Let me read our oracle card, which is my guy just chose this. It's a really nice one. I love this deck. It's so beautiful. This card is strength. Unexpected change can leave you feeling unstable, anxious, and unclear of what to do next or what's most important right now. This is a normal human response. To reclaim your life and tap into your wisdom, connect to the strength of the heart and mind. Inner strength is a resilient certainty that comes forth when you believe in yourself. You can know that your strength shows up in different ways, such as willpower, positive attitude, trust, and self-reliance. It is the encouraging reflection and appraisal of yourself that makes you feel moral, competent, and bold. The things you do to create inner peace can help also find strength. Affirm your spiritual values. Spend time out in nature. Do something to nurture yourself. Take time away from your work. What you feed your mind, either knowingly or unknowingly, impacts on how you connect to others, to the world, and to yourself. Until you train your mind you will go through life unable to access your greatest potential, power, and well-being. So the card is Strength. Okay, you guys, at this point in the video, I want you to know that I'm still available for personal readings. I read on anything in past lives, anything in the present, including past and present. I love to introduce you to your guardian angels, and also I'm a medium. My information is below in the description box and at the end of the video. I want you to take care, be well, and I will see you next week. Okay, bye-bye, you guys.